Hey, what's up guys, CJ here, and today we're going to talk about the X-T3. I got a chance to rent this camera for a couple of days, and here are my first impressions of the X-T3. Alright, so the first thing I noticed when looking at the X-T3 is just the sharp lines and how this thing gives you those vibes of a traditional film camera. I love how it looks. Now, a lot of Fujifilm cameras look like this, but I love how the X-T3 looks and just how small the camera is. The large dials also look pretty cool, and they give you those similar vibes of a film camera, but they also give you quick access to shutter speed and your different settings that you want to quickly get to and dial in. And it's cool because it's kind of physical and you can see it. So the X-T3 is a lightweight camera, and it tends to be a little bit lens heavy, which most mirrorless cameras do, but I love how this camera feels. I was shooting with their 16 to 55 millimeter, I believe that's right, f2.8, and it was a little bit heavy, but not too heavy. They don't have super heavy lenses for these cameras. The XF mounts aren't that heavy, so you don't have serious problems like you do with like a G Master. But most mirrorless cameras do tend to be a little bit lens heavy. This camera was okay, it wasn't that bad. The only problem I really had was the hand grip. It just felt like it was a little bit short and needed to be extended a little bit, which you can fix if you go ahead and pick up one of the battery grips. It actually has an extender on that, that little hand grip there to make it fit a little bit more, and the hands just fit a little bit better. And that, I mean, I feel like that's a design mistake, that they probably could have made that a little bit bigger, but I'm sure they wanted to stick with a kind of sleek, smaller form factor. But I think in order to make it feel good in the hands and make you not have to grip it so tightly all the time, they need to kind of extend that hand grip just a little bit. There are also a lot of buttons on this body, and this could be problematic when you have such a small form factor that fingers, like especially large fingers like these, can tend to hit buttons that you don't mean to hit. It also includes a tilt out and flip up or angled screen, which is okay. It feels very sturdy. It feels very well made. The entire body feels well made. And also that screen is not touchscreen, which is a minus for me. But overall, those are things that I can live with. I would love a touchscreen, but the quick access dials are very clutch in this situation. As far as imaging goes, this camera shoots 26.1 megapixels and also has an electronic viewfinder, which is pretty cool. I've never used a electronic viewfinder as much as I use the electronic viewfinder on the X-T3. It looks and just feels very good to use. I love looking at pictures that I've taken on the X-T3 after the fact. Just looking at it through the viewfinder makes me just want to, I just love how it looks in there. As far as autofocus goes, this camera has face and eye detection, which is a great feature to have. I never realized how much I liked that feature until I used it. You don't realize how much you need it until you actually have a camera that is capable of doing it. The X-T3 shoots 11 frames per second continuous shooting in mechanical shutter, and also 30 frames per second in electronic shutter, which is insane. It's basically shooting video. And speaking of video, it has a ton of features, or video shooting features, that you can choose from. It has 4K 60 frames per second. It has full HD 120 frames per second, which a lot of cameras out here cannot do that. And those two frame rates by far are two of my favorite frame rates to shoot in. So in Fujifilm's high frame rate mode, the 120 frames per second is actually written to the card at 24 frames per second, or 23.97 blah 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 blah, and that is actually interpreted in post already as slow motion, so you don't have to put it in slow motion, which could be a plus if you don't want to do too much in post. But if you want to have full control over your footage in post, this is kind of an extra step that you would have to do. So say I wanted to record 120 frames per second, but I really only wanted to slow it down to half speed. What you would do in this case is probably speed it up in post instead of slowing it down. So it's one extra step that you may have to do. You don't have full control over it, but it's enough control that you can do it in post if you want to. So it's not that big of a deal, but it is a little bit of an extra step. Needing to actually turn that off to be able to shoot in another frame rate is kind of an extra step that I don't really like, but it's something that I can live with. Now the X-T3's autofocus is insanely fast and it's super quick. It has no problems hunting, and it actually focuses really well in low light situations. I have no problem shooting with this thing at higher ISOs. There is a little bit of noise at higher ISOs, but you can go and push it a little bit higher than you would in other cameras. Also, the face and eye detection is very smart. In this case, the autofocus is so smart that if you have it in eye and face detection, if there's an eye available, it will find the eye very quickly. If there is no eye, or if it loses the eye, it finds the face very quickly. And if there is no face, or the face is lost, then it will go quickly to spot focus and focus on the last spot that it was on. So it's just so nice to be able to be in that one mode and be able to do eye detection, face detection, and spot focus all in that one mode. Now it is fast and a little bit too fast. Sometimes that doesn't look natural at all. Now you can adjust how fast it focuses, but it doesn't look like a natural pull focus when the autofocus kind of jumps back and forth to find focus. Now it does it quickly and there's no wait time with it, but it's a little bit too fast and a little bit too unnatural. Also, raw photos look really great, but for some reason I cannot process them just yet. So I'm looking for more information about that. I've had to do my research and find out some things. I've downloaded some Fujifilm software. I've done everything that I can in that regard, but it may be something that I'm doing wrong on my end. I'm pretty sure there'll be more support coming out about that and being able to process those raw files. With all these features, all these electronic features, it seems to perform very well. It seems to be able to do all the little features very well in such a small camera, but there is a lot of electronics going on here, and I don't feel like the battery life is that great. I was able to shoot an entire day with it, but I don't feel confident that the battery life is that good. Now I need to play around with it, and when I get this camera I will play around with it some more, but I feel like the battery grip is necessary for this camera. That is if you're going to be shooting long shoots and long films or doing a shoot for a long period of time. You're definitely going to need some more batteries. But with all these features and a price tag of $1,500, can we say that the Fujifilm X-T3 is the best bang for your buck camera in 2018? And like right now, after testing it, I feel like the answer, I'm willing to say yes to that right now. But I will have another review of this when I get this camera. I'm going to purchase this camera, and I'm going to do a full review, making sure that it has everything, and just tell you guys everything that I can about this camera. It is amazing, and I think it's definitely worth getting, and definitely worth calling the best bang for your buck camera of 2018. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know if you like this camera, if you would even buy this camera, if you even think about buying Fujifilm cameras at all. Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.